The wild is my home. A land of ancient rhythms and untamed beauty, it calls to the adventurer, the seeker, the brave, where the sun burns bright and the shadows run deep. But remember, in Africa, you are not the viewer. You are part of the food chain. I've faced extreme environments, drunk my own urine, eaten things that would make most sick. But some forces go beyond survival skills. They are ancient warnings, local knowledge you ignore at your peril. It's not about gear or a sharp knife. It's about respect. Some places have rules written long before we arrived. People who live in harmony with their environment know its secrets. When they tell you not to go somewhere, there's always a reason. It might not be a predator you can fight off. These stories are not just campfire tales, they are lessons. This essay is about 3 such warnings from Africa. Each involves an outsider, an expert who thought they knew better. They saw local beliefs as superstition, warnings as obstacles. They were wrong, terribly wrong. Their arrogance cost them more than they could imagine. The biggest dangers are often unseen. Before you pack for adventure, listen closely. The world is full of wonders and dangers that defy explanation. These are not my stories, but they remind me to respect the wild, respect the people who call it home. Sometimes, the most terrifying thing you bring back is a part of the darkness itself, and that is a souvenir you do not want. The Congo Basin, Earth's second lung. The air is thick, heavy with moisture. Everything is green, 1,000 shades. The canopy is dense, the forest floor in twilight. Sounds are muffled, the smell of life and death. Into this world came Dr. Alastair Finch, a botanist from England. He sought the legendary Mudiwadamu, the bloodwood. The locals warned him it was sacred, the heart of the forest. Alastair, a man of science, dismissed their warnings as folklore. He had a contract with a luxury furniture company. Finding this tree would make him a fortune. Local guides were uneasy, pointing him to a forbidden valley. They said spirits protected that place, begged him not to go. He continued alone, confident with his GPS and chainsaw. The forest was just biological processes to him. The stories were myths. He pushed through the undergrowth, the air growing colder. Jungle sounds faded into silence. He was close, about to make the discovery of a lifetime. He had no idea the forest was watching and waiting. Do you wish to take a vacation to Africa? I hope you do. In the comment section below, tell me about your biggest fears of Africa and some stories you have heard. I will reply to you and even do a scary video about your fears. Also, kindly like this video and subscribe to our channel. He found it in a sun-dappled clearing. The tree was magnificent, larger than any he'd seen. Its bark was a deep crimson, pulsing with life. Alastair circled it in awe, its wood worth millions. He unpacked his chainsaw, the silence absolute. The engine roared, a violent noise in the stillness. Birds scattered, but Alastair ignored the feeling. He was focused on the prize, the legacy, the money. The warnings were a distant whisper. The saw bit deep, but something was wrong. The sawdust was wet, sticky, like blood. Alastair pulled the saw back, heart pounding. The liquid dripped, staining the ground. The elder's words echoed, "To cut it is to wound the land." He shook his head, greed overcoming fear. He revved the chainsaw again, determined to bring it down. He ignored the feeling that the tree was screaming. As the cut deepened, red sap became a torrent. It sprayed, spattering his face and clothes. The chainsaw sputtered, clogged with thick liquid. Silence returned, heavy and accusatory. Alistair stood, covered in the tree's blood, trembling. The clearing felt like a crime scene. He tried to start the saw again, but it was useless. He threw it down, frustrated, planning to return with better equipment. He looked at his hands. The sap was sinking into his skin. A tingling sensation started, spreading numbness. He stumbled back to camp, the journey a blur. The tingling spread, veins filling with ice. He collapsed, his skin changing, becoming like bark. His fingernails thickened, horror setting in. The sap was inside him, changing him. He dreamt of roots and leaves sprouting from his skin. At dawn, he saw his reflection, no longer Alistair Finch. The forest had claimed him. The Malian Desert, a sea of sand and rock. The heat is relentless, the silence profound. Hidden within are secrets, caves sacred to the Tuareg. A French geologist, Jean-Pierre Dubois, hunted for gold. He followed legends of a lost mine, the Cave of Whispers. The Tuareg warned the gold belonged to the jinn. They said it sang a song that drove men mad. Jean-Pierre laughed, dismissing their stories. He ventured into the desert alone, seeking fame and fortune. He found the cave, a dark slit in the rock. The walls glittered with veins of pure gold. He chipped off a piece, the sound growing louder. It was a whisper, a chorus of voices. The whispers promised wealth and power. He filled his bags, the whispering drowning his thoughts. A golden sheen spread over his skin. He returned to Paris, wealthy but changed. His touch turned everything to gold. He lived in isolation, haunted by the whispers of the jinn. The sight was breathtaking, gold everywhere. Jean-Pierre was going to be a legend. He heard a faint sound, a whisper. The whispers promised him everything he wanted. He filled his bags, the whispering growing louder. A golden sheen spread over his skin. He stumbled out of the cave, his head full of whispers. He returned to Paris, wealthy but changed. His touch turned everything to gold. He lived in isolation, haunted by the whispers of the jinn. The Niger Delta, a maze of water and land. The people here live by the water's rhythm. Dr. Eva Rostova, a marine biologist, came to study pollution. The locals warned of a forbidden creek, twisted creatures. Eva dismissed their tales as superstition. She was determined to collect samples. She found the creek, the water unnaturally still. She lowered a net, pulling up monstrosities. They were twisted and wrong, not fish. The river's sickness was contagious. Ava was horrified, but fascinated. She collected samples, her hand plunging into oily water. A strange, cold feeling wouldn't go away. She ignored the warnings, eager to analyze her findings. Subtle changes began, webbing between her fingers. Her skin became pale, iridescent. Panic set in, the river's sickness inside her. She fled the Niger Delta, abandoning her research. The changes were slow but relentless. She lived in isolation, her body a testament to her arrogance. She had become one of the river's twisted children. These stories are stark reminders. They show what happens when we walk into wild places with arrogance. Alistair, Jean-Pierre, and Eva were experts, but their knowledge was narrow. They failed to understand the land's spirit and memory. They saw local wisdom as an obstacle, paying a terrible price. The world is not a laboratory. It is a living entity. Ancient cultures know this. Their stories a survival guide. The consequences are real. The curse follows you home. Alistair, Jean-Pierre, and Eva are haunted by their actions. Travel with humility. Listen more than you speak. Respect the warnings. Honor the traditions. The darkness of a forgotten place can cling to you. Be careful out there.